Hey, how's it going, guys? I've got a couple things I want to talk about, including the giveaway of the mallets. That's going to be announced on Friday on Instagram and on Facebook. That's what the giveaway was for. So if you left a comment on YouTube, I really appreciate it. There was a lot of nice comments, but you need to leave a comment on Instagram or Facebook to enter the giveaway. And it was a fun project. It was the first time I've turned anything in at least 25 years. And it was pretty easy to do and just really satisfying. It's one of those projects you can bang out in really a couple of minutes once you get used to it. And so it's kind of nice to have that time in the shop. And, well, I almost said myself. Anyway, so good stuff. Now I have an art show coming up on Saturday the 11th. That's this coming Saturday. It's in Atlantic Highlands. And the time is from 6:30 to 9, and I'll have more information in the description. And I'll be there. It should be fun, hopefully. Hopefully I get a good turnout. And I will also be at the Woodworking Show in Somerset, New Jersey. That's going to be on February 17th. The show is from February 17th to the 19th. I'm not doing anything there. I'm not going to be in a booth or anything. I'm just going to the show because I really haven't gone to a woodworking show in a very long time, so I'm looking forward to it. And I'll send out an Instagram post maybe when I get there, if anybody's there and wants to meet up and talk. That might be a good way to do that. So that should be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Now, I wanted to talk about my project schedule. I've got a few sponsored projects. Now, I've got a bed build, but before the bed build, I have to renovate the room that the bed's going to go into because it just needs some work. So the plan there is to remove and replace all the trim around the windows, doors, and baseboard. The room has crown molding, so I don't need to do that. The casing in the room is really funky. The prior homeowner, the room originally had clamshell casing, and then they took a 1x and put that up against the clamshell casing, and then they kind of wrapped that with this 1/2-inch material. And it's bothered me for years, and literally it's taken me 20 years to finally go and do it. And actually, even with this room, I'd really love to rip the windows out and put new windows in the house. But if I do it in this room, then I'd have to do it in every room in the house, and then that becomes a job I just can't handle right now. So I am going to trim the windows out with the idea that if I ever rip the windows out, maybe in the near future, it's really only 3 miters, maybe 4 if I'm going to replace the sill and the molding underneath the sill. But it's one of those things, maybe it'll be 2 or 3 years before I rip the windows out. So in the meantime, might as well have nice trim in the room. So I'm going to retrim the room, paint the room, then I'm going to go into this bed build. And I'm building the bed for Bed Masters. They're going to sponsor the project. They're an American company. They've been in the same location for more than 20 years in Florida. They make a really beautiful mattress. And I'll put a video or a link to a video in the description if you want to see how a mattress is made. It's really cool. It is a steel spring mattress, and it's a ton of work that goes into these mattresses. And then I was amazed that a spring mattress can actually be compressed, rolled up, and shipped. So it'll come to me in a box that's maybe 24 by 24 by 65 inches. It's going to be a queen size storage bed, so it'll have drawers, and it's going to be a pretty big build, and it will probably take me at least 2 weeks to build. And I'm going to be building it with Garnica plywood. I might use something called I forget HDF, I think, high density fiberboard. So it's a high density fiberboard over the plywood, and it's really ideal for painting, and it is going to be a painted project. So that'll be cool, doing it for Bed Masters and also for Garnica plywood. And then after that project, I'm going into another TV lift build, and that's going to be for Touchstone Home Products, and they make the Whisper lift, TV lift. And I know the owner of the company, John. He's a really nice guy, and the lift is a really nice lift. And the idea with this build is to make something as simple as I possibly can, and I'm going to probably build it with my brother Will in mind, who isn't a woodworker, but he's a pretty capable guy, and he has a few tools. And the idea is that almost anybody could build this because it really is just a box. So it'll be a box that's dressed up a little bit with some moldings. There's not going to be doors in this cabinet because I think that makes the cabinet or the build a little bit more complex. So it will be built with an access panel, and the whole reason behind this is so if anybody's thinking about getting into the whole TV lift idea of having that in their home, then this is an easy way to get into it. Now, when I built my last TV lift, a few people in the comments over time said, well, what do you need a TV lift cabinet for? Well, there's a few reasons. One, if you have artwork on the wall and you don't want the TV up all the time, you can have the TV go up and then bring it down. You can see the painting. Or if the TV is in front of a window, or if the TV is at the foot of your bed. So that's the idea. I think now that I've had a TV lift cabinet in my house, I would never build a cabinet for a TV in any other way, because it's really nice to be able to put that TV down. It just looks cool. So after that project, then this isn't set in stone yet, but I might end up building a library with my friend Jack Taylor, who owns Taylor Homes. Now there's a funny story there. Jack is probably 15 years older. No, maybe 10 or 15 years older. Anyway, when about 25 years ago, he built my parents' house. And when he met with my dad and the architect, my dad said, well, we love the work you do, Jack, but we want my son John to do all the trim in the house. Now, Jack didn't know me at the time, so Jack thought, geez, this is terrible. I'm going to build this house, and then this kid's going to come in here and, put some kind of trim in. So anyway, it's funny because I know some of the plumbers and electricians, that worked on the job, and he would tell these guys, this is going to be kind of a nightmare. So anyway, since then, I did a good job, and we've become good friends, and we've worked on a couple of projects together. So now we're going to hopefully get this library job, and that will be a fun job because it's pretty simple. It's just a lot of plywood boxes and shelves and trim, and I like doing that kind of work. And then we can use his subs for the electrical work and the painting. And the painting is something I don't really love to do. It's just a necessity. And I guess after that project, I'm not open. I've got a lot of other things that I need to do out here in the barn, dust collection. I want to build a stand for the lathe. There's plenty of projects. But what I just explained and talked about will probably take me at least the next 6 to 8 weeks. So anyway, just a little update. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you soon.